MPX's experience.
MPX is innovative.
MPX is 21st century learning.
MPX is different from other curriculums because it is what we call project-based. While other curriculums and teachers may incorporate projects into their classes, MPX is 100% project-based. There is no textbook to follow. Instead, students are required to figure out the information for themselves. Students learn the same information, for example, World War II as a topic, but instead of using a textbook, they are required to learn the information through a series of assignments that use multimedia technology as well as a variety of assessment tools.
Would you like to read an excerpt from that and then explain why you, or what you feel that represents?
So that paragraph was from chapter 5. But when they told me there was a state in this country where they'd let that nigger vote, I drawed out. I says, I'll never vote again. From that quote and from that paragraph, it was easy to understand that Mark Twain was putting his own personal thoughts to show that black people were less than white people.
When a student finds a topic that they are interested in, suddenly they work a lot quicker. They're excited to be in class and they feel that they have meaning behind the work that they're doing. Students in the MPX program really set their own bar. There is really no limit to what they can achieve. I've actually had quite a few MPX students surprise me. They've really blown my expectations out the window. And it makes the MPX program so worthwhile to see students going above and beyond my expectations in class.
In MPX, the way we start is we look at a problem that's really interesting for students. Where does water go? What are ways that we can store energy? How come the climate is changing on Earth? So we try to anchor the question around something that's either interesting for the students or something that leads itself naturally to a really rich investigation.
I like it because I'm bored by lectures and reading just textbooks, and I think this is a fun way to do it. But in a way that's
we believe fundamentally that people like to ask questions, and there's tension when they don't know the answer and they want to solve them. And so the idea of starting with student questions or even teacher-led questions drives a much better way for students to be engaged. And we know from research when students are engaged, when they like what they're learning, when it's something that interests them, they're more likely to remember it, they can apply the information, it sticks longer.
I like MPX because it's a new way to learn and it's creative, and you learn more of projects instead of reading out of the textbook.
Coming from a place where they've been more than not given the curriculum and told what to do most of the time, that students struggle at first. This is true with any kind of school like this around the country, that there's a period where students have a hard time readjusting and realizing if they don't do something, things don't get done. That it's not just about an assignment, a homework, it gets turned in, it gets graded, but that the work they're doing is meaningful, and therefore if they don't put their best effort in, if they don't look at it and continually ask what can I do to make it better, that it doesn't suit what we're trying to do because we're trying to solve a real problem, we're trying to get to a real answer.
In MPX, they teach you how to think rather than what to think. We do a lot of projects in order to build upon our knowledge for future applications. For instance, right now we're building a catapult, and that teaches us about physics. And instead of just learning about physics through a textbook, we're actually doing it.
And oftentimes students will say, it's not that it's harder or easier than the pre-IB regular classrooms, it's that it's different because of how they have to work in order to solve problems. And believing our mission statement about having students be active participants in the world as global citizens, as learners, as citizens leading really powerful lives.